Hello everyone, my name is Priyanshu Mishra and I am making this video because I have recently joined Tisa, the Indian Stammering Association, and I have also been enrolled in Mooc course. So this video is also part of my first core task, and in this video I will also be introducing the people of Tisa about myself. So now coming to myself, my name is Priyanshu Mishra. I am currently living in Rudrapur, Uttarakhand. I am working at Tata Motors. I am living here since last 1 year and 4 months. I originally belong from Sultanpur, Uttar Pradesh. Sultanpur is a place located near Lucknow. It's around 120 kilometers from Lucknow. And I did all my basic schooling from Sultanpur from class 1st to class 12th, and after that I went to Kota for the so-called engineering preparation. And after returning from Kota, I joined and after returning from Kota, I joined and after returning from Kota, I joined my college, HBDI Harcourt Butler Technological Institute. It's situated in Kanpur. My branch is paint technology. My branch was paint technology. A quite uncommon branch. Very less people have heard of it. And so the duration of my BTech was from year 2013 to 2017. And since I was recruited directly from the campus, so I joined the organization. So I joined the Tata Motors straight away after college. And now coming to about my family, my father is a teacher in government school. My mother is housewife, and my sister is married, and my sister is happily married, and she is currently in Tiruchirappalli, Tamil Nadu. And I have a younger brother who is 3 years younger than me, and he is also doing BTech in same college from same branch. Okay, so this was all about me and my family. Now I will discuss about my hobbies, and then I will describe in brief about when my stammering started, and how is my experience with stammering and how has it affected my life, so that you people gain better insight about me. So primarily my hobbies, or not hobbies, so primarily my interest lies in cricket, and I have good interest in politics and economics of the country. I always like to keep up the latest news about the Indian economy, about the direction of the share market, the reasons for its up and down. So I have huge interest in that segment, though I am not an investor as of now. And I have also good hold of politics, and I am an avid cricket lover since my childhood days. I I so these are my hobbies. So my experience with stammering. As far as I remember, that I experienced my first stammering when I was in class 5th. I was sitting on the second row of the I was sitting on the second bench in my row, and the teacher asked me to read out loud something. So he asked me to read a paragraph in the front of whole class. So I stood up and I started reading, but somewhere I was feeling that I am not being able to speak the sentence completely. So I started taking deep breaths through my mouth like this. So after every sentence, I take the breath like this. So, and after that, the words, and after that, I am able to complete a sentence. So, so I feel that within a span of week, when the teacher asked me to read 3 or 4 times, means I found it very convenient not to try any other way of reading and doing it after every sentence. So I feel that after 1 or 2 weeks, I found myself doing this activity, and in the meantime, the boy who was sitting near me, he was experiencing all this. So he also started making fun of me. So I think that this was the formal start of my stammering. And after that, when I changed my school in class 8th, my prior school was in Hindi medium, and now I shifted to an English medium school. So here I was facing, so in this school, I became more diffident in the class, and I so I so I always try to avoid talking to people or avoid talking to teachers, since I was also weak in English at that point of time. So I feel that this also contributed to the rise in the level of my stammering. But the things were almost bearable up to class 8th and 9th. But when I reached 10th, I do not know why my stammering shot up so instantly. And the one probable reason also might be that now I started focusing more on my stammering from class 10th onwards. So when I reached so when I start when I reached class 11 12th, I was very heavily dependent on my family for doing my work. Suppose I have to go to buy clothes or I have to buy something, I always used to think that if my mother or I always used to think that if my mother will do it, it would be good. या फिर मेरे फादर कर दें या ब्रदर कर दे, तो आई यूज टू सो आई हैव बिकेम समवॉट डिपेंडेंट ऑन देम, not overly dependent, but I was dependent on them. So when I went to Kota in year 2012 after passing my class 12th, this problem saw a meteoric rise, since I was dependent on people for getting my work done. And when I went to Kota, I had to talk to every single person by myself. So फिर स्टैमरिंग बढ़नी शुरू हो गई धीरे धीरे. And I also mastered the art of avoiding the work solely due to the reason that कि मुझे बोलना ना पड़े. I started avoiding doing that task. I strongly remember that in class I didn't used to ask my doubt. In class I used to ask my doubts with the boy who is sitting near me, rather than asking it in the whole class in front of people. So my deficiency, my lack of confidence began to rise. And but somehow I survived in Kota. The Kota days passed, and when I came to college, I thought that this is the ill which I have to remove first to become a perfect person, or not perfect but normal person. So in first year we have a subject called personal communication, PC. In PC every boy has to give a GD, and there is also a PI schedule for him, and there is also the presentation round. So every boy has to mandatorily go through it. So when I was doing the presentation in PC subject, ma'am told me that means when everybody gave the presentation, it was a group presentation. It was a group presentation. Ma'am told me that Priyanshu, you were very less confident during the presentation. So since I was very much preoccupied with stammering, I instantly said to her that, ma'am, since I am a stammerer, so that's why you might have felt like that. But I still remember that in that presentation, it was less of stammering and more of the lack of confidence. So after when I told this to ma'am, so ma'am told me कि this is not something which is incurable. ये इसके डॉक्टर्स होते हैं और मैं तुम्हें नंबर दे दूंगी. यू शुड टॉक टू देम एंड दे विल क्योर यू. सो आई वॉज वेरी हैप्पी. I thought that this is the God sent opportunity for me to cure my stammering. So I went to the stammering classes. There was a ma'am who used to teach me. So and there used to be a mirror in front of me. So ma'am and I used to talk. He also taught me some vocalization exercises and some breathing exercises. So I used to do that, but the classes were a bit costly, and in addition I also haven't told my family that I have joined this stammering class. So this thing caused a huge strain on my monthly budgets. तो फिर उधर प्रॉब्लम स्टार्ट हो गई ना. आफ्टर 1 or 2 months I slowly realized that I am not being helped in any way. So I left that class. Means there was some decline in my stammering, but that was not satisfactory to continue with the class. So first year was over, second year was over, and I used to be a backbencher. I tried avoiding giving presentation. I tried avoid talking to seniors and juniors alike. I was only talkative with my peers. Means they used to think that I am very talkative, but the seniors and juniors and the teachers, they always thought that I am a dumb person who doesn't like to talk too much. So this was my story of all the years of BTech probably. So when I got admitted into third year, so in third year, just like means every boy has that. So every boy used to think about the placement. Means they don't take, but at least they think about the placement. So I also started thinking about the placement, but the thing was that I used to fear that since I am such a huge stammerer, I will face problem in the group discussion round of the companies, or in the personal interview of the companies. So due to that fear, so solely due to this fear, I joined the stammering classes once again. And this class was even costlier than the previous one. They used to charge it on monthly basis, but this guy, he used to charge it on daily basis per visit. So I joined the classes, and he was also, and the teacher was also very kind to my stammering, and he also made me meet two or three more stammerers who used to come to his class. There was a boy who used to come to his class. He was around 10 years old. And there was a bhaiya who was doing PhD from IIT Kanpur. He was also an stammerer. He also used to come to his class. So I joined the classes. I went there continuously for around 2 months. And after those 2 months, my third year finished, and I went for internship. So when I was going for internship, doctor said that, Priyanshu, if you won't be for 2 months, but I am telling you this exercise So you need to work on your confidence building measures and talk to strangers. These are the tasks you should do in your internship. But and these are the some breathing exercises you should do in internship. So he told me all this, and okay, and I also told him that, sir, I will return to you after the internship. Means, sir, I will meet you in final year. I did all this so, but when I went to internship, the story was as usual. I I used to do the exercises, but since I was living at my home, so I also didn't have much time for these things, and the things were as usual. They were 2 years earlier, 5 years earlier. Okay, and after that, when I came and when I returned, I was in final year, so I started preparing for the companies. The first company to come was Maruti Suzuki, and they had one GD round, and after that there is PI round. So I still remember that I stammered very heavily in, sorry, not GD. They have a presentation round, and after that a PI round. So in that presentation round, I still remember that I stammered very heavily. They even between the slides, they also asked me to flip the side. They also asked me to change the slide so that they can get over me very easily. So these so and I was so and मैं presentation round से बाहर हो गया था, obviously. So I was not selected in presentation round, and after that, and after the Tata Motors came, and I thought, and since Tata Motors does not have a group discussion round, they directly take interview and then present and then PI. So I was very happy that this is a very good opportunity for me to get selected. So as usual, I prepared for written and did all those things, and I qualified the written also. And after that, I was selected. I was selected for the personal interview. I think that within all those candidates, my interview was the shortest. It was around of 8 to 9 minutes, and since since prior to going in interview, and since prior to going in front of interview panel, I was very diffident. I was very apprehensive about my stammering. How would I perform? But when I went inside, and when they started taking my interview, I also forgot so many things because due to my fear, and this fear was only due to stammering. This fear was only of stammering, that I should not stammer. I should not stammer. And after that, so my interview was the shortest, but the interview panel, but the people were, but the people were, but the people, but the interviewer were trying to make me comfortable. Ki you should calm down and all those things. So as far as I remember, I stammered mildly. Means they they probably they probably they probably thought that I am stammering only due to fear, and this is not any speaking disorder. So fortunately, fortunately, after the interview, the result came and I was selected. So I was very happy with the. So I was very happy after getting selected. So after getting selected, I called my doctor, told him that I have been selected, and since you are in college, and that stammering classes were causing a heavy burden on my pocket. So, and after placement, you have to give parties, You have a whole year left. I was placed in September around. So you have a lot of plans. That I thought that those classes are not helping in me anyway, means they are not helping as I expected, so I left the stammering class. So in all I did two stammering classes and I left both midway. But I still don't know if I hadn't left them whether I would have been cured or not. It's still debatable and I still ponder very much on this issue. And now I will talk about how stammering has changed my life in Tata Motors and how it has changed my life as a whole. In Tata Motors, people still think that I am very indecisive. I do not have the sufficient knowledge because, and in meetings, since I do not speak, then people think that this person is not willing to work as a team. So in Tata Motors, actually, it's not like college that you can be a backbencher and still survive your 4 years. You still get placed. In companies, you have to perform. You have to give them some output. So since you have to give them some output, you have to talk to people. So you cannot shy away from stammering. So this is the problem I am facing. That I am that whenever my stammering is exposed, I get frightened too much and my mind gets blocked and I am unable to speak. So but at a broader level, how stammering has affected me, it had means whenever I try to speak in front of people, I get blockages. मीन्स बोलने के पहले वो वर्ड्स, दो चार वर्ड्स हैं, वो निकलते ही नहीं है. मीन्स हाउ हार्ड आई ट्राई, आई वॉन्ट बी एबल टू स्पीक, आई वॉन्ट बी एबल टू गेट देम ऑन. तो एक तो ब्लॉकेज की प्रॉब्लम है विच इज़ वेरी सीवियर ऑफ माइंड. एंड whenever I am talking to myself by looking in mirror, or as I am talking to you people, तो कुछ भी नहीं होता है, nothing. But whenever I have that thing in at the back of my mind that people are listening and blah blah blah, तो फिर blockage is very severe, very. And this timing has made me a person who is always frightened to go on stage, who is always frightened to talk to people, who is always frightened to talk to people by looking into their eyes. This is my second. And at a broader level, now one thing I think that stammering has changed my whole mindset. By this I mean that I think in a totally different way. I sometimes think in a way which normal person won't think in that way. And there are also times that due to stammering, I feel myself helpless. Means if there is a session and I have some doubt, okay, then I won't ask there. Or if that person is saying that if you have any doubts, please ask. If the speaker is saying, I won't ask that thing there. My mind gets totally blocked. I am unable to think anything. Means I only hear and understand what that person is saying, but the retention of that is also very low. And when there is the Q&A session, I am unable to ask any questions. So this was my total experience of stammering since I have joined the Indian Stammering Association, and I have also joined the Mooc 3 group. I am seeing that people are very helpful to each other. They are helping that at least we have a line of support with us, at least what I can infer from the group activity. So my only expectation is that I am more accepting to my stammering, that I that दैट कि मैं स्टैमरिंग को लेकर बहुत एक्सेप्टेबल हो जाऊं, दैट वेन एवर आई स्टैमर आई डोंट फियर। अगर मैं स्टैमरिंग अगर कहीं हकलाना हो भी जाता है तो मैं नहीं डरूँ ना, दिस वुड बी माई अचीवमेंट। बिकॉज वॉट हैपन्स बिकॉज वॉट हैपन्स करेंटली, एक बार स्टैमरिंग होती है मैं बहुत डर जाता हूँ, फिर आगे की 8-10 लाइनों में स्टैमरिंग होती है। सो फ्रॉम दिस ग्रुप आई ओनली नीड टू accept my stammering. I only want to accept my stammering or accept the way I am. Okay. Thank you for listening.